Today on the channel, we're back at it with another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing, and this time we're dancing over to the top picks line for Seth Rollins.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Top Picks unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Seth Rollins. But for all your Seth Rollins Top Picks, WWE, AEW needs, and a whole lot more, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there, and a lot of you guys, and maybe possibly even you gals out there, are saying, Kyle, why are you unboxing this top pick, Seth Rollins? We've got this figure in the past, and I say, hold on a second there. Hold the horses, hold the horses. Now, we have had a very similar Seth Rollins in the past, 10, 15 Elite Series ago. What is time? What is Elite Series? Probably 5 Elite Series ago. Whatever it may have been, we had a very similar Seth Rollins to this, and I actually have that right over here. However, you guys know my rules. Now, if a top pick is a straight re-release, straight same figure, I do not count it. Now, I would count it if I was a mint-on card collector because different box, different packaging, things like that. But if they're the exact same figure loose, you don't know which is which. So I don't count it that way. So that's how I get away from having to buy multiples of these top picks. However, a lot of top picks are totally new figures sometimes. Like a recent Solo Sikoa figure, they improved over the regular release. Those ones I have to get, including this Seth Rollins, because at least as of right now, looking at the package, 2 totally different heads between these two. So technically a different figure if the head is different. That is a huge difference, obviously, having a different head on the figure. So that's where we're at here. That's why I had to pick up this Seth Rollins. And who knows, maybe it'll surprise us. Maybe there'll be some different stuff inside this package. Let's find out. Let's dive in. Now, I did grab this from Ringside Collectibles, and I know I was going to open it anyways, and they had for like $2 cheaper the damaged packaging, so I went the damaged route. I'm opening it. Got to get a deal. Got to save some money where you can. So if you're an out-of-box collector, a lot of good deals in the damaged section every once in a while from Ringside. And this one really damaged. Totally ripped over here, ripped up here. Usually they're not that damaged, but man, the new packaging on Mattel's over the last year or so, very, very flimsy as we see here. Of course, top pick, Seth Rollins, looking good right there, WWE. Elite, 8 and up, WWE once again. Smiling Seth over there, of course, smiling over there in the Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa, as we do know. Top picks, certified authentic for the grandmas, Elite, Seth Rollins, all going on there. And then the rest of the top picks crew right here, you got to pick up that Jey Uso. And I'm still trying to figure out that Roman. I don't think there's any difference, but he is posed totally different in the package, so there's a difference there. But I'm an out-of-box collector, but I don't think I need that Roman as of right now. Still doing research on that one, but I did unbox the Jey Uso on the channel. Check that out, of course. Glamour shot, tail of the tape, blurb. Let's see what it says about Seth Rollins from Davenport, Iowa. Beautiful this time of year. I will be in Davenport, Iowa, I want to say like the 26th of January, something like that. I'll see you guys there. Height 6'1", weight 217 pounds. Finisher, the Stomp. Prior to Survivor Series 2021, the Visionary was ready to burn it all down to prove that he was the face of Monday Night Raw. Somebody call the fire truck. Career highlights, Universal Champion, WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion as well. A guy that gets around, of course. See you later, goodbye. See you later, goodbye. And of course, got his start in the local independents in my area, so I've known of him for a heck of a long time. There he is, Plastic Prison. And I always tell a story. Never forget the first time I ever met Seth Rollins backstage. It was either probably before the wrestling show. He was sitting back there in the locker room just reading Harry Potter. He was diving into that Harry Potter book. Man, he was hoping he could be transported to Hogwarts. And I'm sure he's still probably the same boat right now all these years later. And I remember just saying, who's that nerd reading Harry Potter in the back room there? And it was one Seth Rollins. So shout out to him. Shout out to him getting his book it credits. I heard all these years later he was trying to get a personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut. So kudos for him. I didn't get a pan pizza. He did. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's dive into this one. Should be a fairly quick unboxing, I would imagine. Got two splayed out hands. As you can see, I use the splayed out hands with this one. I'm not going to use them with this one. Make them as different as possible. That's what you got to do. So we got splayed out hands right there. Got Seth Rollins right out of the package, and I guess we'll start with this head. We've seen this head before. Got the hair down in the front, down in the back as well. Got the beard going on, showing off them Davenport, Iowa teeth. There's one thing you can say about Iowa. We got beautiful teeth. We got beautiful teeth in Iowa. Seth looking good there. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears. Those hits being played, all those human hits. Looks like Seth Rollins to me. Like I said, we've seen that hairdo or that face. We've seen the hairdo before too, I guess, with the face before. I'm going to pull his jacket off here as he sheds around my table. I do like the real fur here on, of course, the jacket. You got a nice fuzz to it. Would have been nice, just saying, Mattel, if we could have got some real fur maybe on the chest for this one. Would that be a good way to make it a little different? I'd be here for that. Let's do that one of these days. Come on, Mattel. What are you, chicken? Are you chicken? Who knows? Who knows? But we got the chest hair going on Seth Rollins there. Usual Seth Rollins body type on this one as well. You got the one big kind of knee cover going on over here, and a little knee pad action over the top of the traditional knee pads. Got the kickers on the boot in gold, white, black attack going on. Nice pattern down there onto the pants as well. Articulation, arms going to go all the way around for us. Bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows. Those are the hits I like to be played with. You know that. Black wrist tape on both sides. Open hands over here, back and forth, side to side. Ab crunch, waist articulation. Big old... no splits for Seth Rollins. Uh-oh. Man, this is the ultimate of the bounce back right here. This is probably the worst one I've ever seen. You get no splits out of this guy. Can't get him to move. Too tight in both hips. Usually it's only one. This time it's both, and this is by far the worst I've seen. And now it feels to have settled down a little bit. The last couple of series we've unboxed here on the channel, I think up to 114 we're up to currently as I'm filming this. But man, this is one of the worst ones for mobility, hip movement, just absolutely rough right here. So that's very disappointing. So you got whoa, stop the clock. I gotta stop the clock on this one. As I finished up this review, of course, took it to my camera station where I take the glamour shots of the figures here, and in this case, the top pick, Seth Rollins. I gotta tell you guys, this is about the hottest garbage figure from Mattel this year. It very easily could be the worst figure of the year from Mattel, and you're probably saying, whoa, Kyle, what are you talking about? Well, I talked about it in the review a little bit, but trying to move this figure around to do poses for the glamour shots, things like that, this thing is basically a statue. There is no movement out of the legs at all, the left and right leg. Now, this is from the new Vietnam factory. The original edition, China factory. It shows it right on the boot. On the boot it says made in China. This boot says made in Vietnam. Definitely a difference between these two factories is these hips are so tight you get no movement out of the legs at all. This might as well be an old school Mattel Basic at this point right here. Very, very difficult. Very, very frustrating. There's just not enough movement in there. There's not enough space to even move the legs, do anything with it. And I'm sure if you force it, it is going to break these legs off. So man, oh man, as far as playability, as far as what this is, just movability, this is absolute hot garbage. Now, I will take that step back. Obviously, we've had some issues from this Vietnam factory. We've discussed them the last 6 months pretty heavily on this very channel. This is the worst one of the bunch by far. I am happy to report, if you've seen some of the recent Mattel unboxings on the channel, few and far between, not perfect yet, but few and far between have had that hip joint problem. So it seemingly is getting fixed, but man, it is very, very difficult to do anything with this. Now, this Seth figure probably not going to be high on everybody's most wanted list, of course. You do get different heads, you do get different torsos, and you do get a fabulous jacket with these figures. So there is some differences here to make Seth Rollins fans jump into. A new torso, new head, jacket on, jacket off, all the reasons we talked about in this video. There is reasons to get this if you're a hardcore fan, but man, oh man, is this bad right here. Just wanted to break in. Usually I don't do that, but man, I had to break in to just say how god-awful the hips are on this one right here. That going on. You do got pins in the knees, boot cut, ankles up, down, back, forth, side to side. The usual articulation right there. And I am sure he's going to fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% for those keeping track at home. Fabulous jacket on this one. Really, really nice. Kind of pleather-like. And then, of course, you got the fur lined all over the place. Just a very, very nice jacket here. Now, one thing you could do, we got good old Trick Williams. He came out not too long ago in 113, I think it was. Maybe 114. One of the two. And you could put this jacket on him. It matches up very well with him. I was thinking about that when I first saw Trick wear the jacket very similar to this on NXT. So if you want to make him as different as possible, you display this one with the jacket on, this one jacket off, and give this jacket to Trick Williams if you want to mix a few things up there. So a lot of possibilities with these figures, as we do know. And then looking at the figures too, side by side, let's see if we can spot any more differences. Chest hair seems to be different. Yes, you heard me right. Different chest hair between the two. A lot more chest hair on the top on the old one. A little bit more darker too. So a little bit different. And then look at this. We are a little, just barely different here, but there is a little bit darker on the old one as far as the pants go. Just a little bit darker coloring on that one compared to the new one. Boots seem to be the same thing. Articulation can be the same. The head's definitely different between the two. So there could be enough meat on the bone here. If you're a completionist for Seth Rollins, you're all in on Seth Rollins figures, this is a definite must-have. But for the average Joe out there, or Jane too, don't forget Jane, maybe not enough meat on the bone here. But for me it was, especially getting a damaged package one, saving a little bit of money. That's the way to go at the end of the day. Seth Rollins riding back into the Elite line. No stranger to the Elite line, as we do know. Or the Ultimates, main events. You get it by now with Seth Rollins. But an interesting one here for the top picks. Sometimes those top picks a little bit more than meets the eye. They're a very easy pass over for hardcore collectors. But sometimes you got to take a little deeper look into them from time to time, like this Seth Rollins. So there it is, top picks, Seth Rollins. What are your guys' thoughts? A pickup, a pass, a long game, a no game? And I'm not so sure about this Seth Rollins game. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. All kinds of stuff every single day over here. Appreciate the support. Of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. My book, now available on Kindle. It is the complete guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me at SirPaul64 on the X. You can find me at _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for Seth Rollins, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.